Hello, welcome to episode 12, I think, right? Yes, I just fact checked myself. Yes, we're on episode 12.
Good.
Not like it matters, but hey, we should be fact correct.
Well, we do have a lot of people watching our episodes now.
Yeah. So
So
we
start
should discuss
looking
this. So we made the decision to finally upload these things on YouTube, and they have been doing pretty good.
who would have thought.
Um, they've
But
yeah, who'd have thought they've been getting a good number of views, which is great.
for us, like, okay, might not be good
Yeah,
enough for you, but we are
and
very happy.
we are very happy. Dude, there's some video that has 40, and you can see the unique viewers on because the analytics on YouTube is great because they have this YouTube Studio app, and you can check every video, how it's performing, how many views, how many unique viewers you have, how many viewers are revisiting your views or like videos. So all of this is pretty good. There is one stat though about viewer retention, about how far into the video that people get. So we should maybe ignore that.
I was ignoring that. That's okay.
uh,
But overall, I see that there have been like more than 20 hours of
yeah, that is
content that
already
people
great.
watched.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone watched, not someone, but a bunch of people watched 20 hours of us talking.
Yes, yes,
Is already like a big deal for me.
yes. Which is a great place actually because I was thinking about this. One of my friends back in Bangalore reached out and he was like, "Hey, bro, I sat and binged all your episodes," and I thought he was just like, "Oh, he watched one or two episodes." No, he binged every episode. He's like, bro, I just really enjoyed it. So I was just like doing my work and I would listen to all the podcasts. Thank you. I got a lot of recommendations and he was listening to Serial. So shout out to Krishna because he's probably going to listen to this episode. Sup, bro?
Wow, that's true. Phew. I can't believe and I realized like putting stuff on YouTube is actually more low effort than putting stuff on Spotify. Why weren't we putting stuff on YouTube already? Like Spotify was so more like difficult.
One of the reasons why we wouldn't post so often was also because like, oh yeah, okay, we have to upload the audio, we have to write a thing, and then we have to make some art for it. And it's like, even though it was minimal effort, it was still effort.
It
So
was
sometimes
effort
we would skip on uploading for a long time because of
for
it.
months.
But YouTube is so much easier. You
and
drag and drop and it's done. It take care of the thumbnail for you and then you write a thing and you're done. Go out, enjoy the world.
And like it's also instant validation with the
Yes.
views
Yes.
compared
Yes.
to Spotify, because
Yeah.
Spotify takes a while and then
Takes a
you see
while.
like a little bit, but also YouTube's algorithm maybe pushes it a little bit further, and a lot of people do use YouTube than Spotify.
Yep.
So,
It is
well,
just easier. Yeah, that's the thing. Ease of access because not everyone might be using Spotify or may not want to use Spotify. YouTube, you can open it on your browser also and chill or on your app. So that is
yeah.
great.
And I would also like to say it again. I think I say it every episode. Please message us if you're listening or are following our account, because I see like we have like 14 followers on 23 on Spotify, and I don't know who these. I know some of those people, but like who are you? Tell us. We want to be better friends to
At least,
you.
at least now, I think with YouTube, we may be able to gauge the audience better because of the sheer number of analytics we get. Because it will even tell you the number of viewers from the US, from India,
Yeah.
and all of these things. But still, it would be much appreciated. Just hit us up. Be like, hey, yeah, I'm listening to your podcast, bro. That was pretty cool. Why are we like begging for validation?
I, we're not begging. It's just that just tell us. We want validation to continue.
Yes,
Also,
yes,
shout out to Uday, because Uday has been posting our podcast on his stories and
yes.
also messaging us. And he also binged a lot of
Out
episodes,
of
I think.
episodes. Yes.
So, yeah, thank you, Uday.
Yes, thank you,
But
Uday. So maybe this can be a recurring segment. We're gonna okay. So today's shout out was for Krishna and Uday because they've been binging episodes. They were talking to us. It just feels nice to be heard.
it's like a community thing that we have going.
Yes, it is. It feels very cool.
Yes. Yeah. maybe we can bring someone as a guest. Oh, I think it was someone who was suggesting to bring. It was so I met one of our community friends, Satvik, in
Hmm.
Paris. Hi,
Hmm.
Satvik, if you listen to
Hi,
this.
Satvik, if
And
you're ever
uh,
listening.
yeah, and he suggested that we should probably bring on guests, and I think Mahesh and I have talked about bringing on
Yeah.
guests, but it's so random about when we record podcasts. It will just be a lot more effort if we are scheduling it because it's not really scheduled. It's very you're free, I'm free, let's record.
Let's record. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the main problem. I think even in the very beginning, in the first few episodes, we were discussing how maybe we should bring on some of our friends as guests. We can talk about common interests and topics, and we can make that also a theme. But over time, we've just sort of realized that it's we have no structure or organization to this. Today also it was literally like I texted you and I was like, hey, I have an off today, I'm just free. And you were like, oh yeah, I'm also chilling at home. And I literally said, okay, I'm gonna send you a link in a few
Yes. I feel like I text you, hey, you assume okay, I will send link.
yeah, and then I was like, okay, I'll be kind to her. And then I was like, okay, if you want, we'll do it.
Yeah. Because we don't talk otherwise, right? It's only, do you want to record an
yeah.
episode?
Yeah. Most of our Telegram conversation is literally just, oh, you want to record? Okay, cool. And then we're here.
Well,
Well,
it
here we
works.
are. Okay, this episode uh, is going to all be about Anushka's trip to Paris.
Oh no, nothing happened.
But
I
you
was
went there for a
very
few days. Okay, give me some background on this Paris trip that
oh,
you went to.
I was there because a friend of mine was speaking at a conference in
Hmm?
EDHEC, the business school, and he got passes, and otherwise the ticket was 300 euros. I got a free
Oh.
pass, so I went.
Hmm.
It was easier. um, I was working most of the trip. I didn't get Friday off. A lot of people had Friday off, but
Oh, yeah, was
Wednesday,
it for Easter or Good Friday or something,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
I was working Wednesday. I was there from Wednesday morning. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was working.
Hmm.
Saturday was the only day I could go around, and it was raining. Uh, and Sunday morning I left. So I didn't like for the first 3 days. Like I went to EDHEC and I met up with a few friends.
Hmm.
But I was um in the city center sort of, but I couldn't see the Eiffel Tower. So first 3 days I was just in search because I assumed from all the movies I've watched that you
Yeah.
can see it from anywhere. Like if
Yeah.
you're in the city center, you would turn around, especially Queen, like because she kept running away from the
Yes.
Eiffel Tower and kept catching the Eiffel
Yes.
Tower. I was like, okay, I would be able to see it. Not true. It took me 3 days to see it because I didn't have time to go straight to the Eiffel Tower and see it. So I
Hmm.
was constantly on a lookout wherever I went to
Hmm.
see that, oh, maybe I can see it from here.
Yes.
Every lane I turned into, I was like, maybe from
Maybe
this
from
lane.
here. Maybe here.
It didn't work out. Finally, like on Saturday, I finally saw it. I was like, okay, it's real. It exists.
It, it
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 wasn't made
exists. I have
up.
not seen it. Yeah, I think all the anything in TV shows, movies, or cartoons, or whenever Paris is portrayed, it's like, oh, it's this flat city, and then there's an Eiffel Tower there. So no matter where you go, you can see the Eiffel Tower. At least that's how I've always perceived Paris.
It like I went on a sort of like a hill. I
Hmm.
don't know what, I am not naming things because French names and whatever. So I went there and it did feel like a pretty flat city, but I'm
Hmm.
surprised I couldn't see it for 3 days, even though I was in the center. And I did move around a lot because I was working from like worked from the conference. I worked when I was meeting friends. I was
Hmm.
working throughout. Yeah, so it wasn't very eventful.
Hmm.
I didn't do much, but it was okay. Like I didn't the metro system. I used the met. I spent a lot of time in the metro.
Hmm.
Um, at to a point where like the first time when I was using the metro by myself, I I wrote the connections on a piece of paper because it's
Hmm.
a very complicated metro system. So I wrote
One
the
sec.
connections
One
on.
sec.
Okay. I don't have to explain to the viewers because now they're viewers and not listeners. what Mahesh is doing.
Sorry, I was being asked if I'm on call and if I want to have lunch. I
You
said no,
didn't eat
I'll have
lunch?
later.
Okay.
Not yet. I mean, I had a little bit of a late breakfast, so it's still 1:30 p.m. So that's fine. I can have lunch later. Usually when I'm home, I have late lunch. So yeah, sorry, continue.
Oh, I was writing, so I used pieces of paper for connections,
Hmm.
and I wrote my friends' numbers behind in case because I had heard like very opposite views of Paris, and I realized it
Hmm.
depends on how rich you are and where you stay, basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it was a lot. It was a big city for me.
Hmm. What is
And
your comment on the cleanliness of Paris city? Is it a clean city or is it just like no?
Again, depends on the neighborhood you live in. Majority of the Paris footpaths have dog shit on them. It's just there. And I thought like maybe it's my area or the area I was staying in, but majority of the Paris streets have dog shit on their footpaths. So you have to constantly look down and walk. So I feel like people there vomit a lot. Maybe there was a
Oh
lot of
my
vomit
God.
and dog shit on the streets. But the
Okay.
fancier the area, lesser dog shit. So,
I mean, yeah, that just makes sense in any city.
yes.
Wherever
So
the city is, all the affluent portions or neighborhoods of any city, for that matter, is going to be clean as hell.
there were parks that were clean. I think it depends on where you go, but majority of the places I walked, I had to like constantly look on the footpath or
Mm,
sidewalk and look down and walk, which reminded me of
mm,
India, which
mm,
I don't have to do as much in Netherlands. Netherlands is
mm.
generally pretty clean,
Pretty
at
clean.
least the sidewalks.
Mm,
Yeah. It was also like I haven't been to New York, but it sort of
mm,
gave me that vibe because the people in the metro
mm,
seemed similar to the people I've seen in shows or movies about New York. There was just a
mm.
lot of personality in the
A lot of
metro.
personality.
Yeah,
Mm.
everyone had their own individual sort of passion
Right,
going on. It
right.
was just really nice to watch people.
Yep. I think subways and metros are some of the best people watching places. I love it. Even in India, for that matter, actually. Like roaming around on metros, it's just so cool because you get to see so many different kinds of people and you'll see so many different kinds of interactions.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think a lot of places like a lot of cities, I think Paris is not one of them, but a lot of them have like suddenly sort of classism also comes with in terms of what classes you see in the metro.
mm,
Uh, and that's why I felt like it was a bit like New York because yes, like lot of people from different classes use the subway in New
yes,
York.
you'll see a lot of people.
Mm. So
You'll
it
see people
wasn't
wearing a
just
suit and sitting down and working, and then be someone else who's just going around chilling and hanging out.
yeah. So it was like that. It wasn't. Uh, it was cool. I It took me a while to warm up to the city. By
Hmm.
the time I did, I had to leave.
Oh,
Oh,
that sucks.
also, generally just a lot of security for the Olympics. There was police everywhere. Uh,
Hmm.
Prices were up because of the Olympics. So if
Hmm.
I would go back, I would probably go back. Even to visit would be after Olympics. It's just everything's expensive and there are cops everywhere. They're like on high security alert right now.
Oh, yeah. Not the most touristy place to visit right now, at least, unless you're
They
actually going for the Olympics.
they even I went to visit a friend in his school, and he studies in a music school,
Hmm.
and they checked my bag, which was very new for me because in Europe most of the places nobody checks your bag, like
Yes,
even
here also.
strangers,
Apart
they
from
don't check.
airports, I don't think I've had my bags
Exactly.
ever checked anywhere here. In India, you'll
They,
get it checked while entering a mall. Here,
yeah,
there's nothing.
and it was a music school. It wasn't even like a class. It was a good school, but it was a music school, and they were checking everyone's bags. They had like high security,
Hmm.
there, so which was surprising. Yeah, that's all that happened. Nothing else.
So you just went for a trip because your friend had a conference,
Yes.
just roamed around and came back.
I worked most of the days, met a few friends, which was really nice because it's
Mm.
nice to meet people in different cities,
Yeah.
from different places. It was really nice. And it was raining most of the time, so it wasn't even that nice to go out,
Mm.
especially like rain on sidewalks with vomit and dog shit isn't really nice to walk on.
Yeah.
But overall, it wasn't bad. Like it started getting better. I think if
Mm.
I would have stayed longer, I would have liked it more. I was getting used to going around by
Mm.
myself and doing stuff, so it's good.
Okay, there's a one
Hmm.
sec, I'll be back. There's a
Okay. I think Mahesh's fire alarm went off while cooking and he ran. Maybe. I'm making an assumption. Could be right, could be wrong.
they were making chapatis.
And
And that's it. There was no fire. It's just the smoke that was coming up from the tawa.
oh,
Because
I
the
thought the
vent was
alarm.
not on.
Oh, I thought the fire alarm went on. So, okay.
Uh, yeah, it's a problem. I think with Indian cooking, this happened literally yesterday. We were making rotis, and then again we had the vent on, but there was smoke, so much smoke because of the two tawas and like another pan cooking something else that the fire alarm went off.
Mine goes off every time I cook Indian food. Especially I like my dal with tadka. If I'm doing
Mm,
tadka dal, it goes off.
mm.
I haven't had chapatis in a while. You're lucky that you have flatmates who are making chapatis.
No, we luckily because we're in Bay Area, California, which is basically India, you get the uncooked chapatis
Oh,
that you
and that you
can
can
just
heat
cook.
up.
Yes,
Yeah,
you can just put them on a pan and heat it up.
I also want. I will find someone.
Yeah, I think some Indian aunties over there will be making something. Maybe you can order or something.
Maybe I will have to check. But I sometimes go by Haldiram has this packet of like 10
Yes, is that the
chapatis.
frozen chapati?
Yeah, and they're not as nice.
They're not
It,
that nice.
yeah.
Yes, yes. I remember initially I was trying the frozen chapatis and then switched to these uncooked ones because they're pretty nice. And then we are too lazy to make chapatis. Making chapati, like kneading your dough and rolling it and then cooking it, is like a whole other dish. I cannot do it.
If you have like flatmates, then you can all have like one responsibility for one dish. If I
True.
have to do all of this for myself, I just feel
Mm.
it's too much. I rather like I will spend money and order if I
Yeah, yeah,
instead like I would go out to there are places in Hague which have
yeah. Mm.
parathas. I would go there to eat paratha
Mm.
because I miss paratha. I miss aloo paratha.
Aloo paratha.
But then I would have to take my own dahi because, of course, they won't give me vegan dahi. So I would have to take my own dahi. But if I get frozen parathas at home, then I can make raita and have it with it.
Mm.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking of aloo paratha,
I
achar
think you
dahi.
should go get some frozen parathas and then have it. If it is easily accessible. How close is the nearest Indian store for you?
20-minute walk, I think. 20-minute, I could walk. It's
Okay,
just
that's
that
not.
it's raining all the time. That's the problem. I don't feel like going out. Like I go to grocery stores that are like 2 minutes away, and that I don't 20. I will figure it out. I will
Yeah,
find myself some
I
parathas.
hate grocery shopping. I don't know. There are some people who truly really enjoy grocery store shopping. Are you one of those people?
Yes.
Yes.
Depends, okay? Depends. I will tell you why it depends. Because if I go to a grocery store and I know the layout of the grocery store, like my grocery store that I go to, I know the layout, I know where things
Mm,
are, I really enjoy it. Or I usually take a list and I know where to find what.
mm,
Every time I have to go to a grocery store that's new, like when I came back here, the grocery stores I used to go to had changed their layout completely.
Okay.
My brain could not take it. Everything was in a different place. And I had to figure it out. It wasn't a quick run anymore.
Yep.
I had to spend like half an hour there trying to find stuff. And all the labels of the lanes are in Dutch. I don't understand. So I had to ask people for help, and they didn't understand what I was asking for. So they had to ask other people for help. And then suddenly there was like a chain of people trying to help me find stuff, and I'm following them around all the aisles.
Oh,
But
God.
it just, that part I don't like. Especially the other part I don't like is that all the Dutch people are too tall, and that I want are usually on the higher shelves, so my hand does not reach. Then I have to look for someone to come help me.
Mm,
Like, for example, there is this frozen section at my grocery store that
mm.
has tofu vegetable gyozas that I've wanted for so long, but every single time I go, I
Oh.
couldn't find someone to, and I've tried jumping, and I've tried everything, but there isn't anyone in that aisle as much, and I don't want to go and be like, "Can you come and please help me get
Wait,
that?"
what you live without buying it?
Yes, I haven't bought it
Oh.
for the last three times I've gone. I look at it and I was like, someday the row will be full and it would be falling off a little, so I could jump and grab it maybe. But most of the time it's like a high demand item, so it's like till the end
All
and
the
my
way up
hand
there.
not reaching. So well, those parts of grocery shopping I don't like.
You need to figure out a way where you can, the next time if you're ever going on a Bumble date or something with someone, you go to a grocery store, and this is where the filter of, like 6 feet and above really will make sense. So you find someone who's tall.
I really want to have those guys, please.
And then you're like, hey, can we just go to the grocery store before going on the date? And then you buy it, and then like, maybe I'll just go home.
Thank you so much. This is where
Thank
the
you so much.
date
This is a
ends.
great date. I got everything I wanted out of it. I
Best
don't know
date
about you.
ever.
Or you just find an average Dutchman to be like, hey, can you please help me?
I usually, like, a lot of times I do, but that aisle is just very deserted. There aren't people
Mm,
there that I can ask. And
mm,
I've tried, like, the last three times I've tried to find
mm,
someone,
mm,
but no one's ever in there. But maybe next time I will try to ask because I
mm.
really want to have them. And I
Do
make like a
you,
dumpling soup out of it. So it's like really warm and nice and good for
oh,
rainy weather.
Anushka, please next time go ask someone. I completely understand about like not asking. Sometimes I have noticed that when I'm alone, I'm a lot more introverted than when I'm with others. Okay, it's like I'm a different person. So when I'm alone and if I'm doing grocery shopping and I cannot find something, I will leave before asking anyone for help. I'm just like, you know what? It's fine. I don't deserve to find it anyway. I'll just leave. I get so annoyed that I can't find it, and I don't know, for whatever reason I cannot ask someone for help. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna leave. It's better that I don't have this. Screw it. I'm not gonna ask anyone, and I just leave.
The thing with me is that I do ask, but I had already, like, the last two times I had asked someone once because I couldn't find lentils. So
Hmm.
I asked them, and then that whole queue thing happened. And then
Hmm.
I didn't want to like ask again for
Yeah.
them to like get that because they would be like, how demanding is she?
Yeah.
Like, she keeps asking for help. Can't she
Oh
just
my
grocery
God.
shop on her own?
Yes. Yes. This is another thing. After I ask one thing, I will one more question where I'm like, I'll bother you too much. I will do
I will
it.
I will leave.
I will leave. It's okay. I don't need gyozas. I don't want to feel warm and comfortable. But next time, please go ask for the gyozas.
I will,
Okay.
I will send you a
Just ask
picture.
them to give some 4 or 5 packets and hoard them for the next 6 months, so that you don't
Yeah.
have to do it again.
Um, I don't have that big of a freezer, so I can only buy one packet at a time.
Okay.
But I will get it and I will send you a picture. Or I will also post it on the Pizzly Instagram account. If you haven't followed us, please follow us on
Please
Instagram.
follow us. There are currently zero posts up right now.
They will come, don't worry.
Eventually, I mean,
Eventually, we'll
yeah, I
work
guess it's a
something
little
out.
more effort, but we can
We'll
just like
do something.
we
Yeah.
can we can do something. Is it like
I
what?
actually thought about stuff already, but
Hmm.
it just I thought maybe both of us can do like individual videos of just basic introduction so that
Hmm.
they know who we are, and we can do one introduction of what Pizzly is, like the
Hmm.
basic, that it's
Hmm.
a low effort stuff, so don't expect
Hmm.
too much from us
Yeah,
because we don't have
yeah.
high expectations either.
We have zero expectations
Yes.
on any high or low. So yeah, that's actually a fairly good idea. We can have some sort of intro. But then again, for all of this, it's like, okay, I have to open some editing software. I have to
Yes,
make
that's
a
the
big.
whole thing. Maybe we can just do like a 1 bit video of where we just record it.
Hmm.
Um, we could also do it here. Maybe
We
we
can
can do.
probably just take clips from what we've already recorded and
That's also editing, no? Maybe we
yeah,
can
yeah,
do
yeah,
like
you're right.
shorter Zoom calls where we are like a 1 minute Zoom call where we just like 1 minute recording of us
Okay.
talking about what Pizzly is.
Let
Not
me
long.
remind you that two Zoom calls ago, we
And
started a
then
Zoom call saying that we're going to come up with a short intro for the podcast so that everyone's familiar. It is 3 episodes since then, and we have not done it.
thing is, I am very good at giving ideas, not at implementation. You want an idea, I will give you an idea. Don't ask me to implement it.
Okay, I will try to be the I'll be the enforcer. I will try to implement your ideas. I have no guarantee though because
But
I'm
the
also
thing
very
is,
bad at it.
see, if we get an intro, we'll
Hmm.
also have to edit our videos and add intro before that. It's like so much effort. Unless we always sing, or if we make like a rhyme or something, then we always start with a rhyme.
Yeah,
Like
that's a good idea actually. We can come up with a like a song.
a song.
A
We could come
song,
up. Okay, I don't mind. We can do a song.
right? Songs are catchy, and then it's like it's also like then it'll make this podcast almost like a show, and we'll have our own
Yes.
theme
Yes.
and like our intro song and
Maybe
credits.
we should get I think I said it before. We should get a guest and just with the aim of doing the theme, like the just making a theme.
Oh, yeah, this is why you mentioned 2 episodes ago. If I know any musician friends,
Yes, I
hmm.
do. I know. I might know.
You are my musician friend. You can come up with a song.
I can. Oh, I've made very crappy rhyme songs because I wanted to. I do. It was. I think I mentioned it a few episodes back that I wanted. My aim was to make a song, so I made
Hmm.
like a very rhymey song. So just to get it out of my
Hey,
system. So that
nothing wrong with rhymey. I love rhymey songs. Yeah, I think we can come up with a song. It's
yes,
not and a melody. It's not
yes, I think we
terribly
can.
difficult, right?
No, we've made like kids make songs all the time. It
Yeah,
doesn't have to be good.
doesn't have to be good. It's just a song.
Yeah, I we can do it. We can do
Okay,
like one episode about it because I can bring my ukulele and we can I can play some chords and
okay. Yeah,
we
and
can
then I think Mac has GarageBand as well. So if we want to add any other instruments, we can do that and record, or we can just do a ukulele also.
okay. So we write rhyme.
We need to write rhyme. Yes, we write rhyme plus melody and words, hence music.
Okay, so we write first. What rhymes with Pizzly?
We have considering that we have 8 minutes left on this podcast. I don't think we
Not
can
not do it.
honestly
Um,
accomplish this song,
next call maybe.
let alone in
Okay.
an entire
Yeah.
episode of its own.
Hmm.
But this is a good start. We can come up with some sort of rhyme. Oh, I have another important thing to tell you. I was thinking of it like 2 episodes ago. I thought I'll tell you, and then I completely forgot about it. So I did a podcast with another friend of mine.
Yes, you're mentioning yes.
Yeah. So his name is Vishu, and he's my friend from undergrad. So he was like, hey, I am interested in doing podcasts because I want to tell stories. I want to like meet new people and learn different things about them, and he wanted to do something because of that, so he did that. I was helping, like I was just like talking to him about it. I did his first episode with him, and then I was also telling him, if you want any other help, I'm down to help, or if you want to do something else, I'm always down. And he did a bunch of episodes, and he reached out and he was like, hey, I want to do something more like permanent. I want to do it with someone and sort of collaborate on something. And his idea was to like sort of build a collective, or at least a group of people who are interested in the same things, or at least start some sort of a show or something together with someone. So he reached out to me because I initially only we got along, and he also said, since you're anyway interested, do you have any other ideas? And we can continue talking about it. So I've been talking with him, and we might be doing something. So that's another thing that is happening. Yay. Yeah. So we're still figuring out what it is because unlike this, which is a very low effort podcast, that is not a low effort podcast. Okay. Here's the thing, we've had a discussion on what the podcast is going to be. That is already more than we ever did for this. Okay? So we're having conversations about what we want it to be, what our ideas are, what we want to do, and so that's pretty exciting. And at the same time, this is to you, if you're interested as well, you can join along, or at least talk, or we can continue talking whenever you want.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I always really like creative collaborations, so it sounds
Yes,
fun.
yes. So this
And
is
I'm
super
very
cool.
good at giving ideas, like I mentioned. I can give ideas.
Yeah. So you can continue giving ideas.
Yes.
And I mean, it's not necessarily that you can be a part of it in whatever way you want to be a part of it, right? That's the whole
Okay.
idea. So if you, with Vishu and I think our interests in what we're going to talk about is what we're figuring out. What is the structure of the show? What we want to do, and we're still bouncing around ideas and stuff. And
Wait.
we thought we would do a few just pilot episodes, just focus group episodes, we would call it, to just for ourselves to see how it is, what we want
Yeah.
to change and sort of do this.
You're both in the same time zone,
Yes, we are. He's in
so we will
Seattle.
record in person. Oh
We
no, he's
can't
in
record in
Seattle.
person. Yeah, he's in Seattle.
Uh,
It's not possible. I will go out to visit him at some point. But yeah, so that is in the works. For the past few weeks, we've not done much because I've also been busy. He's also been busy. It's the same thing. We were thinking we should keep this regular, but then clearly, like life comes in the way sometimes because it's a secondary thing. But
yeah.
yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you. Okay, this is another thing that's happening. So yeah, more creativity, more time to do creative stuff.
Oh, he's so cool.
Yeah, this is nice that more people are also getting into it. Like I think we also started it just because, like, hey, it would feel nice that we're doing something,
I
and we're not
completely.
doing it with any express purpose apart from just doing it. Like our intention is to just create, not necessarily any other thing.
Yeah, I had actually completely forgotten about the radio show and the that we talked about on the last episode,
Right.
that we were planning on starting the radio show, and I'd completely forgotten about it. And now it sort of makes sense why we started the podcast, because we
Yeah.
already sort of had it
We
in
had
the
an
back of our mind. Like one of
yeah.
those things was that. So yeah.
And I think because of the radio show, the conversation that we were having, the at least we I sort of knew that, oh, she also wants to do something like this. Like you had that inclination at least.
Yeah.
Why it was easier to go about this. Because I know, oh, both of us just want to do this. And like our intentions are the same. We just want to like create it for the
Yes,
sake of creation.
I do feel like we came pretty far compared to like having it still being a low effort, and we've been coming back. to it, which is already sort of like a big deal for
Yes.
me. It's usually I have like hyper fixations or hobbies that I focus on, then I
Mm.
get bored of them and then move on. But
Mm.
we'll be like, I think this year will be like 2 years in the
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
which is already like pretty cool.
No, I'm the same way because I do the same thing where I get hyperly fixated on certain things and then I get bored and I moved on. So like right now I'm hyper fixated on in like politics and law because finding law fascinating. Like I'm sitting and like watching Supreme Court hearings and all. I'm like, oh wow, so cool. He's talking about this. And I'll be going through legal documents. I'm like, why? I don't know. I'll be awake till 3 a.m. looking at this stuff. But I'm so hyper
You know,
fixated on it. And this is
now
the
you
same.
know. No, but you know where it comes from now, right?
Yeah,
The-
exactly. Now I know. So
That
in
is
that
why
sense,
we,
yeah.
but that is why we stayed up late researching about stuff during all the calls where we
Yep.
would find something and then look it up and
Look
get
it
all
up.
excited and read up
Yes.
all about it.
Yes. We would look at like the most absurd things and try to, yeah,
Yeah.
we were very jobless to say the least. I was in grad school. I anyway had nothing to do. And before that, it was COVID, also nothing to do. Good times, good times. So, yeah, that was the thing I wanted to tell you.
It's going to end soon.
Yeah, we have a minute and a half left. Maybe we should come up with an outro in a minute and a half. What?
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure, too much pressure. But the last two podcasts, I was I rewatched one of them, which I've never done. I've never listened to a whole podcast again. So I think which was it, the neurodivergence one or the other one, something, one of them. I was like, hey, that was a pretty good podcast. Objectively speaking, it was a pretty good podcast that we did because we were sort of engaged throughout. So I've seen improvements because I was listening to some of the initial podcasts, and it would just be like we're having a conversation, and then there would be 10 seconds of silence where we don't talk about much.
But that's
And
how general conversations go. You take
yeah,
breaks.
yeah, you do take breaks, but that's necessary, not necessarily what you associate podcasts with. That's all.
Yeah.
But off late, we've been doing it less, and that's been pretty good. We are hopefully improving as podcasters. Are we podcasters?
We are.
Okay, on that note, we're podcasters. See you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.